but don't look me in the eye. I'm the king of the world. Here they come, here they come, here they come, here they come, so clap your hands, here they come. They don't leave no mark. V6, they don't leave no mark. V6, they don't leave no mark. V6, they don't leave no mark. I'm the king of the world. Here they come, here they come, again and again, here they come, here they come, so clap your hands, here they come.
Hey, it's your captain. So, man, like, life got hectic on me. I tried to start up and couldn't get things to work. It wouldn't log in, and I had to set the monitor back up because I went to convention. I had to use the monitor that I normally use. It looks to me like I'm online for YouTube and Facebook, and it doesn't look like I'm online for Twitch, and I don't know what to do about that. I can try turning it off and back on again, and see if it'll work. Sending data. I don't know what else to do. You know, it's those things. Tough. It's rough. Yeah, Twitch just says sending data. It's not picking up. So I see we got one viewer on YouTube right now. So there's another. Okay, we got a couple of people. I don't know. We're going to just pretend like it's all working because I don't know what else to do. So anyway, welcome. I'm your captain. It is Neuroshima Hex time. Portal has asked me to continue a series with Neuroshima Hex, and so I decided I would do it every week as much as I possibly can. Now, next week, I'm going to be gone, and the following week, I'm going to be gone because I got Dice Tower Retreat, and then I have a Gen Con. So there's that. But today, we're going to play the new Neuroshima Hex app. We're going to check it out. And then afterwards, we're going to talk about some of the new games that are coming from Portal, including one of the new factions for Neuroshima, which is called Beasts. And I got to play an early prototype with Joanna, and I can share with you some of my thoughts and sort of what I learned about it, and so we can talk about that. But for right now, let's play Neuroshima Hex. Cool. Well, you know, sometimes life gives you lemons and you don't have any sugar or water to make lemonade. you just end up with lemons. So let's do this. I've got Neuroshima. This is the new app loaded up, and we're going to go in and check it out. So just so you guys know, if you haven't seen it, you can go into settings and you can actually change things there. Being able to change your game settings and whatnot. But one of the things that you can do when you create a game is you can join a game already in progress. So like if you're online with somebody else, you can go back and forth with that. You can have multiple games open and you can join those online games. What we're going to do today is we're going to select these to just be random. For some reason my interface isn't working either. I can't mouse around, so I'm having to actually use my phone. So anyway, lots of fun. So we've got the AI set to hard, and we've got ourselves set up. And so right now it's whoever is whoever. So they're going to select 2 factions, and we'll be one, and the AI will be another. So we're going to be Moloch again. So we can put this base anywhere we want. We got 20 points. Now when I play a Neuroshima, because oftentimes I play with more than just 2 people, instead of saying the base starts with 20, we all start with 0 points, and then the first one to create 20 damage on other people's bases. So every time I do damage to anyone's base, that damage is given to me as points. So I'm making points, they're making points, and whoever gets to 20 first wins. Or if we run out of tiles, whoever has the highest will be able to do that. So that's normally how I play. When you're playing a 2-player game, it's easy just to say I got 20 points and we're working our way down to 0. So that's what we're doing here. This base for the Moloch, the big bad evil AI, actually gives you a plus to your ranged attack. So anybody who's next to him will be able to, if they normally do 1 damage, they'll actually be able to do 2 damage with a shot. So I'm going to put him there and call that good. Now they've got a very mobile faction now. These guys, see if I can bring that up. These guys have anybody who's adjacent to them actually gets a second initiative, so that gives them more attacks. And if you can see they have they talk about the different. Now I don't know why it says toughness there, because this doesn't actually have toughness. Anyway, but the deal is that this faction that we're playing against has got a lot of, what would you say, movement and fast attacks and things like that. They've got a lot of ranged and stuff. So they're one of the better factions from the base 4, especially to go up against Moloch, because they don't have to pile in. The other 2 factions have a lot of melee, so they have to pile in on Moloch, and Moloch has got the bomb. So we'll see how that plays out. No, I don't want to give up. So I've got a nice guy here. I think he's called the Judge, and you can actually, let me see this. You can hold down on him, and it'll bring it up. It's the Juggernaut. And if you look at the Juggernaut, he's got a melee attack, which does 2. He's got ranged attack, which does 1. And here it is. He's got armor. So those 3 places there are armor. And so they protect against 1 ranged attack. And he's got toughness, which means it takes 2 to kill him instead of just 1. So all that is cool. And it's just a matter of where you want to put him. Now he does get that double ranged attack. but I don't know where to put him. So if I put him here and turn it this way, he'll do 2 damage to the HQ when he goes. The HQ will get 1 attack on him, and that will do 1 damage. Remember, it takes 2 to kill him. And then he's also facing in that space next to my HQ where he would want to put a person to do more damage to us, and we're going to do 2 damage to whoever that is. So that's an offensive defensive move. So I like that. I'm going to put him there, and hopefully that'll work out. So that was the he put a medic down, and so that means that he can absorb a damage from 1 source. I think what we'll do is get rid of this push. We'll put this guy here, and we'll start doing damage right now. Let's start the battle. So now both of those guys, right? So both of those guys are going to do damage. There you go. So that medic took the damage from the first guy, and now my guy does 2 more damage to him. So it would have done 4 damage, but in this case it took out a medic and did 2 damage. Now he's doing a battle. Got 2 damage on him. He's doing 2 damage to me. I do damage to him. So on that one initiative, on that first initiative, both my guy and his guy attacked at the same time. So I did take him out. He did get to do multiple damage to us, but we got all that damage on his base, which I'm not sure that made sense. If I were playing, at that point, I don't think I would have started the battle. And the reason I wouldn't have started the battle is because I'm going to do, the red is going to do more damage to the green than the green's going to do to the red. And usually it's one of those deals where, like, you always look to see if you're going to do more damage than the other guy. You're always trying to, it's okay if you trade, especially if you're going to get rid of pieces. But a lot of people center on the pieces and trying to defend different pieces and stuff. And what I find is you just need to center on their HQ and always be about trying to take out the HQ or trying to make sure that aggressively as possible that they don't get to do anything to you. Now, in this case, we've got a guy already lined up. He's going to do 2 damage, and he's going to do it on a 3, which is awesome. We've got another guy with toughness. So we definitely want to put that middle guy there. He's a 2-1, so he's going to go off twice. We can give him extra damage, so that'd be 4 damage that he would do. That HQ could do 1 damage to him, and he'll survive again and do 4 more damage if we play our cards right. So, what to do. Now, the clown is in a similar circumstance. So I think, even though I like this guy going off on a 3, he's fantastic, I'm going to get rid of him. And instead, I'm going to use the guys with toughness and put them next to his HQ. So that way, we're going to be able to do more damage to him. Now, what I'm going to suggest is we do this way. So that way, if he puts a guy next to his HQ on that upper right-hand side, we'll be attacking him as well, right? So we got that in. And then we take this guy and we put him right here. So now we've got the places where he would have an advantage eliminated. And we're actually in pretty good shape. We're going to have a +2 on the clown, and he's got a toughness. And we got a we'll have a 2 melee attack on the clown, and he's got a toughness. We'll have 2 ranged attack with our robot there, and he'll be able to go off twice on 2 and 1. So, and he's got toughness. So I feel like that's a pretty good situation. Hey, Merson. Let's see what the AI thinks. All right. So he's trying to stay away from our thing here. Oh, we got a net. Wouldn't that be fun? So that two in the back right there, he's going to have a single attack, and he will actually do damage to that 3, the one with the 3 initiative. But the 3 initiative will already get the 2 damage in. So I'm not too terribly worried about him. That ranged attack with toughness is nice. And the net is nice. So I can just nullify his attacks on me by using the net. So I think what I'm going to do is probably get rid of this guy. And if I take this triple ranged and I turn it just right, he's going to do damage in different directions that may help to protect my base, but he'll also do 2 damage to his base. Now, the other thing that I could do, since I have toughness, right, is I can put him over here. And if I put him here, he will do 1 damage to his base. But he'll survive, and it'll keep him from getting a guy in there that's going to shoot twice. That might be a thing. But I really feel like this is where I want to go. Playing sort of the long game. Now, this guy here, I can put him here, or I can put him back here, and he will net both those guys, and so neither of them will be able to go off. But one of the things that I'd like to do is make it to where you can't put another guy attacking my base. So if I simply put the net this way, I turn off both of his guys, right? And I end up with protecting my base, putting some fodder, if you will, on that base, so that he can't put a guy in that spot to attack my base. So now he's only got a couple of ways to attack my base. One of them is going to be along this line. He could put a guy here, or he could put a guy here, right? And that would shoot towards my base. Now he would have to kill this 3 first. He could put a guy here. He would have to kill my clown first in order to go there. And he'd be able to put a guy here. And if he puts a guy here, this guy in the corner is going to shoot him. If he puts it in any of these, that guy's going to shoot him. If he puts him here, this guy is going to shoot him. So we've got him blocked up pretty good. We've got some attacks on whoever he puts down. So we're being aggressive, but we're also being defensive. And I think that's the secret to getting success in the game. I say before I lose. Well, let's see what he does this time. He's thinking. Here he comes. Right, so he's going to try to take out our, with that 3 in the back there, he's going to try to take out our net. Now, when he takes out the net, that will happen on a 3, and then his 2s will be able to shoot. So that net will do very little good. Now we've got another ranged attack, and we got a +1, and we've got a medic. So now here's the thing. I can put the medic on the net, and when he shoots my net, I'll survive. That's cool. The guy that I would have to place is a 2. I can make him a 3, and I could have him shoot the other 3. Right, the guy who's going to shoot my net. But the problem is he'd still be able to shoot my net because that happens on the same initiative. So I'd have to get a 4 on there to stop him. So I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to get rid of the +1. I'm going to get rid of the +1. I'm going to put this guy here. Now that +1 could have helped. I could have upped the initiative on some of my other units and things like that. But I think what I really want to do is take this guy and use him to do some damage, right? So look, if I do that, he's only going to do 1 more damage, and that's it. But again, it keeps somebody from getting that 2 initiative, right? Now, eventually, his base is going to attack, and he's going to destroy that guy. But it's in a space where he could have a better attack. So I'm doing 1 damage to him, and he's not going to have multiple attacks on me. Also, that 2 is going to be aimed at that 3. So when that 3 gets 1 attack, and my medic takes care of the net, my 2 is going to hit his 3, right? Currently. Now, he's still got to place his guys. So let's see what he does. Oh, he's thinking some more. Thinking. All right. Oh, that guy's nice, boy. Woo. All right, so he's going to try to shoot the medic. So if he shoots the medic at the same time, then I don't get to use the medic. So that stinks. That stinks. Yeah, man. I got a big blocker. Whew. Yeah, there's not a whole lot I can do to save myself. It'd be nice. So one thing that you need to know is that top guy isn't just a ranged weapon that I can place. That is actually a special ranged weapon that actually hits every enemy in a straight line. So I actually do not want to use a blocker. The blocker is not going to do me any good in this case. So so let's look at this. I could put this guy here, and he would give that guy a +1 to his attack. I could put it on the medic, right? I'm sorry, on the robot, which is or the clown. They call it the clown, which is the one in the middle there. Could put it over here. Oops, over here, and maybe like that on that clown, or on this guy, because he is definitely going to get hit. The problem is he's going to get hit twice. So he would do 3 damage, but and the other guy would do. Okay, so here's the problem. On a 3, the guy right below the module I'm placing, right? He would actually, that would be this guy. I think you can see my mouse. This guy here, he would actually attack on a 3, and he will kill this. So this guy will get a 3, but this guy who goes off on a 2 will not get the benefit of that bonus. So it might be better to let the bonus live someplace else. None of these places make sense. So if I put this here, it'll give the bonus another place to live. Now, another time. So this guy will go off and do 2 damage, which is nice, on a 2. This guy, I can take out his 3s, right? Or I could go here and take out all those guys. Those are melee. They're not quite as important, but that guy's aiming at my stuff. But my 2 is going to take out the 3-2 anyway. So he's going to be gone. And the other guys are melee. So I feel like doing this makes the most sense. I don't have anything else to do. That's all we got. So unfortunately, it's not optimum. Let's see what else we got going. He's got a movement. Of course, the guy that he can move has already got a movement. So I doubt he uses that. Yeah, there you go. So now, fortunately, we've got one more place. No, I don't want to. No, nope. I don't want an unlucky draw. So whenever you draw and there's not a tile that you can place, all of these are actions. Then you don't have to. You don't have to play them. All right, let's look at this. So I got a bomb and I got a movement. Now, the thing about the bomb is you can't put it on the edge. You can't put it on any of these edges, and it's going to take out 5. So if I put it here in this place right here, it'll do 1 damage to all my guys and 1 damage to these 2. If I put it here, it'll take out this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. It'll take out my net, which I don't really care. And it'll take out this guy, who is going to do 2 damage. But it takes out everybody else. So I really like that. And then I could use a movement like to move my HQ even, which is kind of a wild thought. But I don't think it's necessary. So I'm going to get rid of the movement. And I'm going to actually pull the trigger on the attack after I drop the bomb. So you can see I can't drop the bomb on the edges, right? So I have to drop the bomb here. It's going to take out the guy that does 2 damage, but I am going to do way more damage to him than he is to me. The only bummer is this guy right here is going to be taking out one of my things there. Could have used movement. Nah, that still wouldn't have helped. Yeah, I think this is the best way. We're going to drop it right here. Right? So that's good. And of course my net survives because I have that. Now this 3 is going to take him out, which means this is only going to have a 1 attack. That's fine. This guy's going to have a 1 attack. This guy's going to have a 2 attack. This guy's going to have a 2 attack. So all those seem really good. And he'll have 1 attack on me, and that's the end. Well, like I said, I had that movement, but I think this is much better because I want to do as much damage as possible. Why, look at there. It's Dutch. What's going on, Dutch? Right, so he takes that out and he gets 1 shot on me. We knew that was going to happen. That was the first thing that happens. Here's all our damage, right? So the reason it says your move is because with this guy, we can decide whether to explode and do damage just like the bomb did, or to not and just do our regular melee attack, which is what we're going to do. I know, Dutch, I couldn't figure out how to get it loaded up. I tried my best to load on Twitch. I even reinitialized and stuff. I don't know what's up. It's the Restream app. I don't really have much control over that. So hopefully they'll figure it out at Portal and we'll get something done. So you can see he did 1 damage to each one of these guys. But look, he's down to 6 now. So he was at 14, now he's 6. So that's what you need to do. Always look at aim in that direction. Dutch is everywhere. There you go. Well. Well, we got melee attacks. You know, it really doesn't matter what we do. We're going to win. Which is what I like. Wish I could put that double attack somewhere. Okay, and I got to get rid of one of these. Why don't I get rid of this too? I don't really need to do a lot of damage to any one person. I'm going to take this and I don't know, I'll put them like so. And I'll put this over here like so. That's a bummer. This guy's going to kill this guy. But I'm still going to do a bunch of damage. So, and now this guy's got an initiative of 2 and 1. So he'll do 2 damage. This guy will do 2 damage. 4 damage, actually. So that's pretty good. I feel pretty good about it. He's got a movement. Now, see, I feel like he gave up. This is what we're seeing sometimes on the AI. They're still tweaking on it. But I feel like he's given up. Because if he were not given up, he should have moved this guy, right? He could have been killing something, doing something, some positive movement. He's got nothing, right? This guy's aiming at nowhere. This guy I want to push for sure. I could push him and then put a medic here just to block it up. I think that's a great idea. So I'll get rid of one push. I'll take this push and I'll put it here. That means that he has to move away. Then I take this medic, and it doesn't really matter where I put the medic because the medic is going to get killed. But, oopsie, we'll put it that way. We'll call it good. So this guy's going to take out the medic, but he's not going to take this guy out. So now we're back to doing 4 damage that way. And actually, this guy on a 1 is going to take that guy out. So that'll be neat. And we are done. Awesome. Yep. So that was a sniper attack. He does 1 damage with the sniper attack, so he got to do that, and now he's got a guy there. Now that guy's going to go off on a 2 and a 1. I'm going to hit him on the 1. So, got another push. It ain't going to help. Well, I'm going to get rid of 1 push. And I'll go ahead and I'll put the push here, which moves him there and nets him. I guess I could have put the other guy there and shot him. So he'd get 1 attack on a 2, but he wouldn't get 1 on a 1. I don't think that matters. Honestly, I don't think it matters. All of this is for whatever, right? So, this guy's going to attack here and he's going to attack there. I think that's good enough. We'll be okay. At this point, he's got an unlucky draw. Got another draw. All he gets is a upgrade, and it gets netted. So, but that act is a defense for him. So I have to take it out rather than hit his base. None of this really matters. Might as well do this. Put this here. Wish it would have been on a 3. Anyway, let's do it. Start a battle. See what happens. Get it to the end. There you go. And then we get to choose whether we want to blow up or not, which we do not want to explode. We get an attack there. That guy goes off. That guy hits him as well. And he takes that guy out. There you go. Do we want to explode? The answer is no. Exploding wouldn't have helped. That's that. He's down to 4. He gets 3 tiles left. And these are his last 3 tiles. They ain't worth a darn. He is dead, dead, dead. Dead, 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 dead. So, right. We get rid of this. It doesn't really matter. And we'll put this over here. This guy gets a plus, and we'll battle. Oh, we can't battle because it's the end. That's right. Well, in that case, we can't battle because it's the end, so we get rid of that. We take this guy, we put him here, so he'll do extra damage on a 3. And then we'll take this guy and we'll put him here, so he'll do extra damage. And here we go. Chapow. Right? So on a 3 he did damage and he took out his guy, and now on a 2 he gets to go off, and on a 2 that guy goes off. Guess what just happened? Woohoo! There you go. Now we used all the tiles to get there, so it's the AI did okay, but at some point the AI was outclassed for sure. So anyway, there it is. Yeah, that's okay, Marson. That was all right. So we may design something later. I've still got more to figure out with this new app. But I'm really excited. One of the things that you guys are going to find out is that when we're able to connect with other people and play online, I think it's going to be super cool. Hopefully bring that back into the fold so that way we can play each other from all kinds of places. We might be able to use the Discord to set up some tournament stuff and be able to play this way, which would be pretty neat. So I'm kind of looking forward to all that. The other thing is being able to add the new factions, right? So all those other factions, we'll be able to import them in here. And I can't wait to see some of the ones that we didn't see before. So ones that they were having problems programming in, you know, things like Dancer and whatnot were really, really tough for them. The fact that they were able to finally get Dancer in was pretty cool. But now we've got these new ones like Beast and stuff, and so we're going to be able to see those come in. Speaking of Beast, let's talk about some of the new games that Portal's coming out with. I want to share this stuff with you. Let me tell you what I know. So let's talk about that. All right. Well, the very first thing I want to talk about is here on the Portal store. I'm at the Portal US store and looking at Beasts. It's on pre-order right now. Only $8 for the Beasts. And let me tell you something about Beasts, man. These things are pretty cool. So you can see some of the art there. That's pretty cool. Basically, these beasts are animals that, because of environmental conditions and whatnot, they've mutated, right? And those mutations have created even more extraordinary beasts, right? And you know, here you've got this gorilla with spider legs, right? So It's just neat stuff. Yeah. So these beasts are pretty cool. But one of the things that it's always that cool game mechanic. It's like, what's the mechanic of this? And one of the big mechanics, sort of the takeaway from this, is that there's friendly fire. But there's also something called reaction. So normally you only have your initiative, right? Well, these beasts have something called reaction. So if they get hit, they will go off then. So their initiative is whenever they get hit. Now, when they react, they'll kill everybody around them, right? They'll attack everybody around them. So they'll attack other beasts. Well, one of the things that I was able to do in my initial gameplay of this was able to line up a couple of beasts so that one of the beasts with a better initiative made the other beast with slower initiative go off sooner, right? So it was neat because you're starting to play with like, oh wait, it's like setting up dominoes, right? You set up the dominoes, you tip one and they all fall. And it felt a little bit like Neuroshima Bomb. There's some neat stuff that you can do with that. So now obviously you have to sacrifice units to make that happen. But I think it might be worth it. So it's interesting. It creates a new puzzle that we haven't played with before. And so it makes me excited to play this faction. You guys are going to love it. All the Neuroshima fans, I'm telling you, it is a neat puzzle to try to figure out. You're going to like this one. This is going to be a good one. So that is Neuroshima Beasts. And coming to a store near you, or you can pre-order it right here. So that's pretty cool. Now, the other thing that they have on pre-order is Dune, House Secrets. Now, I got involved a little bit in some of the detective stuff just to make sure. Hey, Ruby, I'm sorry I'm not on Twitch. Oh, what a mess. It's a mess. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm glad you found me. Anyway, Dune, House Secrets is like those detective games, and I've always had a little bit of an ability to like kind of help out with translation and stuff. That Tyler Brown, who does most of the English translation, or at least cleanup on the English translation, Tyler usually gets me to look at it, to give him a second opinion, that kind of thing. He doesn't go with everything that I suggest, but it's neat to kind of help out to do that translation. And fortunately, I've done some detective stuff before it came out, and it was pretty neat to kind of help with that and kind of get a preview of where they're going with that. And I got to do that with Dune. And got to play like the very first scenario and kind of the prequel to the whole thing and see what that was about. And there's some neat mechanics to this. They're very minor, not hard to understand at all, but you can save basically some resources and then spend those resources to kind of do something special. So kind of like with the detective where you have that... like you have the little tokens that you can spend and your character has these tokens. Well, during the game, you can actually earn some tokens as well. In this game, you can earn some tokens and then you can spend those tokens, right? To maybe do some intimidation or whatever. And it's all set in the Dune universe. And I think the way that they did this is really smart. Not to give too much away, but it's one of those timeline things, like, you know, where is this in the setting of the movie and all that kind of stuff. And the piece that I played, it was neat how they dropped it in, right? They dropped it in to where you're not playing the movie, right? you're right in between some timeline stuff, and you're on the edge of what's going on. So I felt like if you watch the movie and you play this, it's like you're doing your own thing. You're doing your own thing. You're discovering your own doom, right? So I think it's going to be fantastic. I feel like the scenario that I was involved in, that the difficulty level was moderate. It wasn't overwhelming. It wasn't overwhelming at all. I didn't feel like I had to be a super detective or whatever to get it done. It made sense to me, right? The other thing that I would say about it is when you're playing the scenarios and you've got the cards and all that stuff, there's some neat handouts and some video and stuff like that they're going to be using. So there's going to be some cinematic pieces, and kind of being an old RPG guy, I really like player handouts, and we've got some of that here, so you get to feel with that a little bit too. So that's pretty awesome, right? So I don't know if you saw recently, Ignacy had a video where he had the suitcase and he had all his stuff and he had all those handouts. That's classic RPG stuff, and we get to do that in this game. So this one's on pre-order as well. There's multiple scenarios in here, and it's going to be a lot to explore, and I think very rewarding to go through. So anyway, so that's that one. That's Neuroshima. Now, 11. So I got to play 11. Now, it's still being developed. We're still only playing prototype. I didn't get permission to show you anything, so I'm not showing you anything. But as far as I know, I got free speech. So let me tell you a little bit about 11. Number one, I don't know much about about soccer. I know about hockey, right? That's what I know. But in 11, it's like a Euro game. You're playing this Euro game. It feels very familiar. You're upgrading certain things that are going to help you give better resources. There's a little bit of set collection as well, where you can get extra victory points for having certain sets of things. So it all feels very much like a Euro, okay? But that Euro is pushing out to the final thing, which is, so you take several Euro turns and then you play football, soccer. And you have your pieces lined up and you go against this card. And it's neat how it went. They have like a scouting report. So you kind of know what they like to play and how they like to play, their style of play. And so you set your guys up based on what you think they're going to do based on the scouting report. You turn it over and you match things up. And it's really interesting. And I can't wait to see how they do that, because right now we've got a limited, in our prototype form, we've got a limited amount of cards, so the teams are kind of the same, but there's going to be more of that to look at. You've got different players that you can recruit and put in there. And that's interesting as well, because there's some choices. Because there's 11 players, there's not a goalie, or there wasn't a goalie in the prototype. But the other 10 players, basically, they all have a number, except for number 10. Number 10 could be anybody, right? That could be number 22, number 45, that kind of thing. But when you have a number 3, that is the jersey number 3. So if you had 2 number 3s, you have to pick between which one of these you want to be number 3. So, and that number 3 is going to be a defensive guy, right? So the players are either going to be defensive, midfield, or they're going to be attackers. And most all the players that I saw anyway were labeled one of those three things. So you're going to move into that area. And then the other crazy thing is that you might have all these players, but you've got to have your Euro game on so that you can get the resources in order to activate those players so that they can play to their strength, which is kind of like making sure that they get trained, right? Making sure they get coached, all that kind of stuff, so that way they can play their best rather than to just be an average guy. Because if you don't activate the players, everybody's got like a value of 1. You could maybe get some bonuses to where it's not 1, but that's basically it, right? So it's a really interesting back and forth, and you get to do the football thing. It's very tactical. It feels neat to play, and you just do a comparison with tacks and stuff, and you see what the game score is. If you win, you move 3 points up on the league. If you tie, you move 1 point up on the league. And if you lose, you don't move up on the league board. At the end, you get points for being high on the league board. You get points for set collecting. Set collecting, as far as I remember, as far as I can see, is basically about the back office, the managers and the coaches and all that kind of stuff, trying to get a good balance there. And then you've got the whole upgrading the stadium. So like if you put in a training facility, that's going to help to get the blue resource, which is like strength or athletic ability, which increases the amount of players you can activate, or possibly even activate some of their special abilities, right? So, which is really cool, which is another tactical thing that you can do if you have blue left over. So it's really neat. I can't think of anything else I really need to tell you without like just totally going into the rules and all that kind of stuff. But I think that's where we're at. And I got to tell you, I'm not like the soccer guy or anything like that. You guys know that I'm a hockey guy, but man, this is fun. This is a fun game, and it's what Ignacy said. Like, yes, it's got a theme. The theme is soccer. And if you like soccer, you're going to love this. But if you don't like soccer, I still say you're going to love it. Euro, tactical, man, it's fun. It's a fun game. It's a fun game. That's it. Anyway, so that's that. So the other thing that I wanted to show you. So 11's going to be coming to the thing that's not Kickstarter. Where is it? The campaign starts on September the 7th, right? So, and so that's on the thing that's not Kickstarter. Dadgummit, why in the world can't I figure it out? And it doesn't say here in the, anyway, you guys know. So, the other thing that we got is Dreadful Circus. Well, I don't know if you've seen it, but Ignacy was talking about the artwork and stuff today on his video. And I take a look in here, and here it is. We can actually see it. It looks pretty cool, right? So here's what they got. They got all these cards. Pretty nifty. And you can even see like the different counters and stuff. I mean, like, I don't know if this is like first player, second player. I'm not sure how it works yet. I haven't seen any of the rules or anything yet. But look at the colors and just the intricate nature of it, right? And it's kind of got that monocolor look to it, and it's dark and whatever brooding artwork. I like it. Look at that. That skull reminds me of the old D&D handbook, like the original AD&D, like something, the artwork that they would put in that. Actually, a lot of this artwork kind of looks that way. Looks like the old RPG games. And then they've colorized it with basically single color or single, I guess they would call it a palette, single palette of colors. So this is the red palette, right? So anyway, pretty neat, pretty nifty. And, look at those. I just think they're neat. Now, Gunpowder Parade counts as 2 Paris. Don't have a clue what that means. Anyway, draw 4 cards, then choose 4 cards from your hand to discard. So yeah, this is a card game for sure. It's interesting that we got different color cards. You notice the symbols at the top. We got some top hats here. Not sure what this symbol is here, but both of these are the same. All 3 of these are the same. So anyway, it's interesting. It's interesting. And so some of this is going to happen behind some kind of a mask. And notice each one of these has a different color. So I'm wondering if we all have our own deck. That must be what's going on here. I'm not sure. It's interesting. Not sure. And then you've got all these tokens, which must be victory points or something like that, right? Anyway, looks cool. It looks really cool. Oh, look at this. So he's got a box, and they're putting tokens in the box. So that kind of reminds me of what's that called? Got the little suitcase, Godfather. So Eric Lang worked on that Godfather game, the sort of area control Godfather game, and had the little suitcases where they put the money in the suitcase kind of thing. Maybe we're doing something like that. So maybe these aren't decks of cards, or maybe I don't know. I really don't. It's interesting. And you got a draw bag, huh? It looks like this says Berlin and this says Vegas. So these are different places that you might go. Don't know. Yeah. It's pretty. I like it. Looks like 8 players. Wow. Right? Up to 8 players. I'm in. That sounds cool. Card game with up to 8 players. Maybe we could play it with family and stuff. It's very cool. Very cool. Now here they have a deck of cards, and they're all different colors. So these must be the boxes that we have, and there's one deck of cards. Then we do something behind the screen, and we draw things out of here. Speculation. Anyway, there it is. Dreadful Circus. So I thought I would share that with y'all too. So that's going to be up and running here pretty soon. So I can't wait to see where that goes. Hopefully I'll find out a little bit more about the game and be able to share that with y'all as well. So make sure you check out the Portal website and see what's going on with things, right? And I can't wait for Mullet. I want my big box. Anyway, I hope y'all are having a good day. I'm sorry about my inability to connect all the different media today, but we got it done. It was a little crazy. Everything, I had to log in and I had to change things. It was just a little nuts, but hopefully we'll get it straightened out. And like I said, next 2 weeks, I'm not going to be around. I got to go to Dice Tower Retreat, which is going to be fun. Go down to Miami and hang out with Tom and the gang. It's going to be so much fun. Play a lot of games that are probably not on the radar. I may be held to secrecy on some of them. I don't know exactly how it's going to work. But when I come back, I guarantee you I've played a bunch of games, and I'll do my rundown with you on that. And I got Gen Con the very next week. So hopefully you guys can meet me and the gang over in Indianapolis, because we're going to be having our booth. So, oh, good. You get to go to Spiel. That's excellent, man. Yeah, you get to go to Spiel. I don't get to go to Spiel. I wanted to come to Europe, and that ain't happening. You know what we're doing now, Dick? We're putting in hardwood floors. In lieu of Europe, we're getting floors. Can't Guess which booth? I'm gonna say, maybe you're gonna hook up with Steve Bonacore and the Evil Empire. Actually, I don't know who their spokesman is anymore. If it ain't Steve, Look, it's good talking to you guys. Y'all be good. And I'll see you soon. Adios.